Hey guys, welcome back. It is Sean with Modern Country Living, and got a little project I'm going to be working on here. Wanted to share it with you folks. If you recall, I've got the New Holland T4.95. It's a roughly 100 horsepower tractor. It's got a really nice front end loader on it, and I have a bunch of implements for the front and for the rear. And I just purchased a grapple a couple months ago, and you can check out the video on that. That grapple goes on the front, and I've got a hydraulic grabber on it, and I don't have a third function on my front end loader. And so while I can still make it work, so I'm going to come around the front here and show you. I ran some hydraulic lines from the front of the tractor all the way around to the rear of the tractor. So I can still use the front end loader with a third function. I just have to take my hand off of the front end loader joystick and grab the lever for the rear remote. And while that's worked for me for a number of years, I use it with my snow plow. The rear remote is used for the angle. On the grapple, I'm using the rear remote a lot more. So I get a lot of this motion. I got to come off of the joystick, go over to the rear remote control and make the adjustment, grab or open whatever I'm trying to do. So the solution to that is to add the third function to the front end loader, right? And I was looking around. I've been looking for a couple years, and I just haven't really wanted to pull the trigger until I really had a need, and I do now with the grapple. So what I did do was I did some research online, and I'll show you what I found. All right, W.R. Long produces these solenoid valves for the front and creates the third function. So you get a live third function valve kit. They provide nice instructions, as I can tell thus far, for my loader. So again, I've got the 665 TL. And as you can see here, this one is designed for that, and gives you, what appear to be thorough instructions. Even have a blue tractor in there, so let's hope that everything works as it should. But this has the electrical connections. I'm going to run this to my joystick, and on my joystick in my tractor, I have 2 buttons already on it that are used for the third function. So I'm hoping this will do exactly what I want. Here we've got an inline fuse. This is for the power supply. Here we've got, this appears to mount, let's see, looks like it mounts up in this area up there. I'll get that sorted out. They provide the hoses and the dust covers for those as well. Looks like it's going to interface up there, and then over here on this side, we got to see exactly where that connects. And then I'm pulling a line off of the block here. I got to get that sorted out, figure out which one's the power beyond, and then I do see a P1 back there, but I'll get that figured out. So yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be fairly straightforward. We'll see how that goes. I'll do some updates as I'm installing it and provide you with a little bit of a summary at the end with how it works. But wanted to share for this, I think my tractor is a 2014 model. They have this kit. You can see the number there, VKNH655TL-95. And as I said, instructions here on the front for the all this stuff, and then the electrical connections. So this is mine here. I have the factory rocker switch with 2 push buttons to open and close future attachment. So that is what I'm going to use. I got to find a 12 volt tap for power. I'd really like to find one that's actually switched on the key switch, so that don't risk the thing draining the battery if there's some type of unknown draw on it. But yeah, it came fairly well packaged. Looks good thus far, and let's work on getting this thing installed. Been working on it a little while, and this is the front of the tractor, and mounted the connection here for the implement on the front, the grapple. So just remove that bolt, located this in there, tightened it up, and then I started to work my way back, zip tying the lines in, routing them all the way around, up the loop, over to here. Now the valve, solenoid valve here that controls the third function, I'm mounting here. It's a little bit different than the instructions. I think what I did was remove this, and this, located the bracket on there, and then relocated these back into their positions, tightened them up, made sure all the connections were good. So now, got a whole mess here of the protectors and plugs, but the valve will be located here. All right, so that looks good. And on my tractor, my mid-mount valve is in a different location than what the instructions say. The instructions have it back like over here, which kind of causes me a little bit of a headache, because the hydraulic lines they gave me that need to run to here, yeah. So we got to go from Power Beyond up to here, and from here back to where the Power Beyond went into the tractor. And I'm trying to understand what is on this valve. I've got some denotations. So like T here, I believe is this. Here's a T1. So one of those two, I believe, is Power Beyond, as I believe this one over here is the supply, because it's coming off the pump on the other side. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to my dealer, because I'm sure they have a bit more experience with it, and I do not want to hook something up incorrectly. That, and I have these, pretty long hoses that really, if this connection, which is the power, if this needs to come here, I can't do it with the hose that they supplied. Really need to, a 90 off coming over to probably another, 90 in, trying to keep everything away from this tire so that I don't pick anything up, like, something comes up around, I don't want to grab the hydraulic line. The other challenge is wiring. Now, started to remove all this because my tractor has the buttons here, and I pulled this off, and there is a line running down in, that won't stick there, down through, there's a connector, and then it goes back in to the tractor. I don't understand that. It's not a part of the instructions that are in the in with the valve, and I don't want to start cutting lines and causing my tractor not to work properly. My guess is the connector goes into power, and then there's a connection somewhere for this stock. If you ordered the tractor with the third function, it would connect in, but I don't know that. So I've done what I can. I think hopefully somewhat reducing the cost of what it's going to cost to get this finally wrapped up. But I think I'm going to have to take it to the dealer, have them, route the wiring and create some hoses, make the connections into the mid-mount valve there, and then we should be in good shape. I am pretty excited about being able to just connect in to that. Here are the hydraulic hoses that I used So I routed these all the way through the back as I showed you before. It'll be nice not to have to do that any longer. So this is as far as I can get right now, and I'll add some more video. So we got this all in one video. Once I get it back from the dealer, I'll explain what they've done. Okay guys, we're back. It's been a few days, and took the tractor to the dealer and had them complete the installation of the third function for the front end loader. Again, the reason I did it is I ran into some concerns about how I was going to wire it and concerns about how the hydraulics all worked. But I've got it back. I just put the grapple on and did a little test on it, and everything works as it should. As you can see, we got the couplers right there, everything locked on just as it should. We'll take a walk around here. And got the hydraulics all set up. So I'm gonna walk you through that real quick just so you can see what was done. I wish I could have completed this myself. Probably could have if I had enough patience and time and, you know, just a little bit more knowledge of the tractor, electrical schematics, things of that nature. But at the end of the day, it was worth taking it to my dealer, and it looks like everything was done as it should be. So stay tuned for a little walkthrough. Okay, on the hydraulic side, the Power Beyond came out right here on my valve, and it says that's called T1. Appears to be the way it's labeled, which is not common, at least from my research. So, you know, line down, around, up into the valve, electrically actuated, lets flow happen, comes down the other side, and goes back to tank. And that line goes around the back and is connected right there to this line, which I believe feeds these rear remotes. So Power Beyond, right? Power Beyond the port. One thing I might do is try tightening that up a little bit more away from the wheel, just in case I run over brush when I'm brush hogging. That might be something I need to take a look at doing. Let's get in the cab real quick. Okay, so tapped into key switch power. Right there's the fuse. I don't know if you can see that. And running the line under the mat up into that area. Now my my loader control joystick, comes with the factory buttons, as I said, and mine was defective. The switch wasn't being made, so we had to order a new one of these, which comes as a complete assembly. And as the dealer serviceman said, it was a real pain in the butt because he had to remove all of this plastic out of here in order to route everything and make the connections. He did not bring, I think there's a fuse panel up there. He did not bring it all up to there. He chose to put my fuse down below the steering column where it's accessible, and if I have an issue, I can get at it. So I think at this point, let's fire this thing up and show you how it works. So again, I've got the buttons, open, close, so there you have it. Finally have a third function on my front end loader. Something I've wanted for a long time. Probably should have just made it happen when I bought the tractor, but I didn't have a use for it at that time. And you know, I'm always trying to not spend money I don't need to at the time when it doesn't need spent. But at this point, it made sense to get it done, and we got it done. I'd like to thank my dealer for helping me get this completed, and just so much more efficient, not having to you know, take my hand off the loader and reach over to one of these valves controls for the back. So cleans up the tractor, don't have a bunch of more lines running to the back, everything looks good. So hope you guys have a blessed day. Hopefully this helped you out. If you're going to tackle this on your own, You might be able to do that because you got more patience and some knowledge of the tractor. But for me, I got as far as I could and then had the dealer. Take care, be well, hit like if you like this video, and subscribe as well.